Hello everybody, I hope everybody's doing well. The other day I picked up this lawnmower off the marketplace. The lady had it listed, and she had it listed for $50, and in the description she said it was hesitating, running rough, and I put an offer in of $40, and then she wrote back to me $45, and then she sent me her phone number. So I called her up and I said that I would be down within an hour. So she's a little bit of a ride away, about 15 miles away. So I asked her if she had change of a 50. Yeah, I have change of a 50. So I get down there, I check out the lawnmower real quick. She starts it up for me. Seemed to run smooth. We only had to run it for about 10 seconds or so. So I took out the $50 bill and I said, "Oh yeah, do you have change?" And she's fumbling around. "Oh, I don't have any change." "Oh, okay." Okay, so lesson learned. When you make a deal with a mower or anything and you settle on a price, just bring exact change with you. And so I just gave her the $50 because the area I was in would have been more of a problem trying to break the 50 than, losing the $5. So I just gave her $50 for it. And so far what I found with it is it's all good stuff so far. The shut-off cable here is good. That's all good. It's got oil in it. Runs good. There's no rod knocks. I checked the blade. The blade's in pretty good shape, so all I'll have to do is sharpen that. And I'm going to clean it all up. And the paint always comes off of these classic engines. By the way, if it didn't have a classic engine on it, I would have just, I don't know what I would have done. I would have just let it go. If it was a newer one with that plastic Briggs & Stratton and I can't stand, I don't know, because I had 3 of those already, mowers that I bought, but I bought them cheap and the engines were no good. So all I did is I just put the classic engine on it, the old type, the normal type, and it's the usual, all the paint is peeling off the engine and stuff like that. But the deck is pretty good, and it'll probably clean up real nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'll set the camera up, we'll start it up, we'll see how it runs. It still has a little bit of gas in it, so we'll see how that goes. She listed it as a 22-inch, but I think it's a 21. I'll have to measure it and see. I don't know, maybe it says it on the sticker here. I don't know, we'll take a look at that later. So I could have given this lady a bad review, on the marketplace, but I didn't. I just didn't give her any review or anything like that. So what goes around comes around, She probably figured that I wouldn't go through the trouble to get the change to give her the $45. But we'll see what happens with it. I'm going to start it up now and we'll see how it runs. Seems to be priming okay. It could have bad gas in it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all apart anyway, dump out the bad gas and clean out the carburetor and everything, so there's no problems down the road when I go to sell this. So either has bad gas or dirty carburetor. So either way, it's going to get looked at. Okay, so I still have this one that I just fixed on the last video, the last 2 videos that I made about this. What I like to do with these is I like to hang on to them for a few days and start them up every day and make sure they start and run good. So I haven't started this one up today. If it starts up good today, I'm going to list it on the marketplace, and I'll probably put it on offer up also. Pretty sure it still has gas in it. Let's see how it runs. Okay, so that's ready to get listed for sale. Starts right up, runs good. Okay, next thing we're going to do is I'll get it up on the work table and I'll start taking the carburetor and the gas tank assembly off. And then I'll take the shroud off, make sure it's clean or clean it, whatever it takes, and we'll continue. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention that I already knew is the pull cord's no good, so we're going to change the pull cord out also. So we'll get started and start tearing this down now. Put you in a good spot here. So what I'll do is I'll begin by taking off the air filter. Looks pretty good. It's not bad at all. But I'll take the element out and just make sure. So it looks like somebody changed the air filter, so that's good. The less we have to do, the more profit you make. There's one bolt on top here is 5/16. Take that bolt out first. And then the other two I think are 3/8 bolts. Yeah, the 3/8. There's one. Yeah, there's one on this side and there's one on the other side. Yeah, this has that wing nut that holds the starter rope, connects it to the handle here. I'll probably end up painting the handle too. No, I'll definitely paint the handle. And then we just let that go back inside there. And I'll put this back on here so we don't lose anything. Even though I'm going to put everything into a coffee can. Because I'll probably most likely just take it apart today. And I don't know if I'm going to make a 2-part series video on this. It depends how long the video is. I'll pull the top cover off and see what's in there. I think I have all the bolts out to where I can take this off. Pretty sure. There's just clips in here. I forgot. I don't want to break anything. I forgot. Yeah, now there's another bolt. It has to be taken out. Looks like. Yeah, right here. Yep, that's got it. Pretty clean in here for the most part. I'll just blow it out with some air here. Maybe I'll give the magneto a cleaning like I normally do. If you saw my last video, then you saw the way I cleaned the magneto. I removed it and cleaned it and put it back on. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the muffler off. This way I can clean the engine up and paint it. And it's an MTD 22 inch. I thought it was a 21, but on the decal it shows me it's a... Okay, with these mufflers, if it's not going to come off easy, then don't bother taking it off. Unless you have to, unless it has a hole in a muffler and you have to replace it. But this one seems to be coming out pretty easy. Seems like it's a little bent too, but that's no big deal. As long as it's not broken. Yeah, I don't see any cracks or anything. So we'll just put that off to the side. Now I'll take the carburetor off. I'll turn the machine around. Okay. So there's 2 bolts. One's a 3/8 and the other one's a 1/2 inch bolt. So there's 2 bolts holding the gas tank and the carburetor assembly on. So we know it definitely needs a carb cleaning. That we know. Here we have this rubber tube that I just took off, and then you just, this is that space there that goes between the tank and the engine. So you're going to make sure that you put that off to the side too, and don't forget to put that back on or you squash the carburetor mount. And then all you have is one piece of linkage here. And you just pull it off just like that. So now I'm going to clean up the engine. I'll just tape around it so we can spray the engine. We're going to be using the black paint on that. Okay, so I gave it a quickie paint job. I just masked around the engine here. I put a different spark plug in here. This is the plug I usually stick in there to paint. And what I did was I rolled up a piece of paper towel, stuck it in the intake manifold, so you don't want to get any paint in there. So I took care of all the engine block. I just got to take the tape off. I gave the shroud to shoot rather, a quick paint job also. Next, what I think we're going to do is I'm going to replace the pull cord rope. Okay, so I bought this, I usually use these starter rope kits. Comes with the handle and everything. And it's a good thing because this handle on here is broken. I'll show you in a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install this. So it's an SH-43. It's an Arnold product. I always had good luck with them. I never had any comebacks or anything with them. So what you're going to want to do first is you pull your old cord all the way out here. So you can't pull it anymore. And now usually they have a hole that goes right through here, right through the top of the housing. This doesn't. I'm gonna have to try to wedge the screwdriver in between the pulley here and the shroud and hope for the best. It'll stay. And I think it will right now. If it does spring back on me, that's gonna hurt. And then what you're gonna want to do is pull your rope out here, and you're going to want to cut the knot off here. So as you can see, this handle's broke. It's broken. It's garbage. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is take your rope and feed it. There it goes. I knew that was going to happen. And it usually does when you're recording stuff. Let me get that set back up again and I'll be back. So this is a real pain in the ass to show you on. But what I did was I lined up the pulley again. I wound it back up because you saw that it came unwound. So what I did was I stuck my pick in here. And this way you could see where it goes into the pulley in there. And where it comes out the top here. So what I'm going to do now is feed the rope through, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I wound up the recoiler again and stuck the screwdriver in here to hold it from uncoiling again. And so what I did was I took the new rope here and I passed it in through here. And I just fed it through till it came out here. This is where your handle's going to go on. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie the knot into the rope. And I'm going to tie a double knot in it. And then I'm going to pull the screwdriver out and recoil it back in very easily. So let me just stick the camera over here to where you might be able to see what's going on. Here we go with the shaking again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a simple double knot in here. So I'm not really that good at knots. I just made one knot. Now I'll make another one here. And then I'm just going to pull this as tight as I can. And then we're going to feed the rest of it through. here. I might want to cut the excess off here, which I think I'm gonna, because that's way too much on there. So I'll just cut this off here, around here, would be good. And then I'll just take my Bic lighter here. Wait, you can still see me? Nice. And then I'm just going to heat up the end here. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it all the way through. Oh, make sure I can pull on it tight. Now I'll take out that screwdriver and then we'll just recoil it very easy. And there's more than enough rope here, so I'm just going to tie a quick little slip knot in here so it doesn't get sucked in while we're working on this. So I could just pull this right out. I could pull this by this and the knot's out. So, and that's it. I might show you on an easier one sometime. Okay, so I'm going to stick the new spark plug in, and that's going to be it for this video. And I'm using an RJ19LM, but I'm using the Autolite version because that's all they had, which I like Autolite better than Champion anyway. So on part 2, I'll be cleaning the carburetor. I'm going to take the carburetor off the top of the gas tank. I'm going to clean the carburetor, and then I'll show you how easy it is to change the oil. I'll be taking the blade off so I can sharpen it, and we'll put the top shroud back on. I'll get the pull start cord back in its place. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.